If you're like the average person, you've never wondered what happens behind the scenes of your favorite restaurants. Have you ever wondered how some restaurants stay in business? From the outside, it looks like any other small business. But behind the scenes, some of these restaurants are being run by the Mafia. In this video, we'll reveal the secrets about 3 things the Mafia gets done in the restaurants. Mafias and Restaurants. The Mafia is a criminal organization that has a long history of leveraging the restaurant sector as a method of money laundering and producing more income for their own purposes. One of the most common ways they do this is via the use of front restaurants. Restaurants are attractive to the Mafia not just because of their potential to generate large quantities of money, but also because of how quickly and easily they may be liquidated. Additionally, groups regularly use eateries as a means of recruiting new members and carrying out covert illegal operations. Restaurants are commonly employed in this capacity. The Mafia has been known to conduct a variety of illicit activities, including money laundering and extortion, at establishments such as restaurants.
That's money laundering.
In addition to this, they have been known to cover up criminal activities by using restaurant staff members to bring in illegal substances and weapons. They might also use the restaurants as a way of threatening and frightening customers and other companies. This would be done via the use of the restaurants. The Mafia's long-standing and complicated association with the restaurant industry has had a substantial and negative effect on the restaurant business as a whole. If you want to find out how Mafias build alliances in restaurants, then keep watching this video. We will examine how they use their connections and resources to gain access to the restaurant industry, how they use the profits they generate to increase their influence and power, and how they form networks with other mafias and criminals. So don't miss out on this fascinating exploration. Keep watching to learn more.
I am watched too closely.
Setting themselves apart. The Mafia was particularly skilled at cultivating an air of seclusion and exclusivity in the establishments that they owned. They wanted to make it a place where only specific individuals can enter, and where both the cuisine and the beverages were of a very high standard. So that was one of their main goals. A feeling of exclusivity was fostered in private dinner events. Examples of this include exclusive use of private rooms, elevated level of service, and access to menu items that aren't made generally accessible to the general public. They regularly employed doormen to keep a watch on who entered and exited the restaurant, which contributed to the atmosphere of seclusion that prevailed there.
You're doorman, doorman, doorman.
Alliance formation. It was common knowledge that the Mafia formed partnerships with other dining establishments in order to expand their sphere of influence and level of visibility in a region. Because of this, they were able to acquire access to a greater number of resources and extend their reach. In order to form strategic alliances with other restaurants, the Mafia restaurants coordinated their efforts in a number of different domains, such as distribution, marketing, and promotion. The Mafia restaurants were successful in expanding their customer base as a direct result of the relationships they formed. Customers who purchased meals from both businesses were eligible for further discounts. The Mafia restaurants were able to increase their profits by pooling their resources and dividing their running expenditures, such as the cost of purchasing and storing food. This was made possible as a result of the agreements. If you're interested in learning about a brief history of Mafias and restaurants, then make sure to keep watching this video. We'll take you through some of the most notorious establishments and uncover the stories of the mobsters behind them. You won't want to miss out on this interesting and unique look.
I will not miss.
Illegal restaurant activities. The restaurant business run by the Mafia was indisputably a criminal enterprise. It was used to conceal illicit activities carried out by members of the Mafia, to launder money, and even as a front for the distribution of illegal drugs. In addition, gangsters regularly used restaurants as cover when they threatened, assaulted, or even killed informants and rivals. People who worked in Mafia restaurants were often coerced into providing the mob with information, and may be pushed to commit crimes against others against their will. The Mafia regularly marketed counterfeit and stolen goods via the restaurants that it controlled. The restaurant business run by the Mafia was a big criminal activity that was enormously profitable, but also carried a high level of danger for anyone who participated in it.
Highly dangerous.
History of Mafia restaurants. Uncertain history surrounds the Mafia restaurant industry. However, it is thought to have started as a method for Mafia members to launder money in Italy in the late 19th century. Through the use of restaurants, the Mafia was able to steal their illegal funds, make them seem legitimate, and then use those funds to buy legitimate businesses. As a result, they were able to access more trustworthy businesses and move their money and resources with greater freedom. Who were some of the people leading these Mafia groups? You don't want to miss out on this amazing video about the top 5 bosses of the Genovese crime family. This family has been at the center of many notorious stories for decades, and this video dives into their fascinating history. So don't waste another minute and watch now to learn more about the infamous Genovese family.